The moon hung low in the night sky, its pale light spilling over the quiet village of Ekuro. The crickets chirped softly, their song broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves as the wind whispered through the trees. But near the heart of the village, something stirred, a shadow moving against the flickering glow of a distant flame. Young Kem crouched behind a cluster of banana trees, his heart pounding. He had been warned never to follow his grandfather to the shrine, yet curiosity had gripped him like a vice. Tonight, he would see for himself what secrets lay hidden in the dark. The shrine stood in a clearing, surrounded by towering trees that seemed to lean inward, their gnarled branches forming an eerie canopy. At its center was a stone altar, worn smooth by time and rituals. Behind it loomed a carved wooden figure, its grotesque features half hidden in shadow. The idol seemed to watch, its hollow eyes filled with a malevolent presence. Kem's grandfather, Chief Olisa, approached the altar with deliberate steps, his staff tapping rhythmically against the ground. In his other hand, he carried a calabash covered with a cloth. Kem watched as the old man knelt before the idol, his voice rising in a chant that seemed to vibrate through the air. "O Great One, Keeper of our fortune, accept this offering and bless our household. May the wealth of my sons and grandsons bring you honor." With a flourish, Chief Olisa removed the cloth, revealing the contents of the calabash, a live chicken, its eyes wide with fear. The chief raised the blade, and with a swift motion, the offering was made. The blood dripped onto the altar, pooling at the base of the idol. Kem felt a chill run through him as the air grew heavy, the shadows around the shrine seeming to thicken. The ritual ended, and Chief Olisa rose, his face impassive as he placed the calabash at the foot of the idol. He turned and began walking back toward the village, his gait steady but unhurried. Kem, still frozen in place, waited until the chief's figure disappeared into the darkness before stepping out of his hiding spot. As he approached the shrine, the chill in the air deepened. His eyes were drawn to the blood-streaked altar and the lifeless chicken lying before the idol. The wooden figure loomed above him, its grotesque features now clearer in the moonlight. He felt its hollow eyes boring into him, as though it knew he had no place there. "You shouldn't be here." The voice startled him, and Kem whirled around to see his uncle, Issy, standing a few feet away. Issy's expression was grave, his arms crossed over his chest. "This place is not for you. Go home." Kem hesitated. "What is this?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Why does grandfather do this?" He stepped closer, his gaze flicking to the idol. "This is the price of our wealth," he said quietly. "The Great One grants us favor, but it demands loyalty and blood." Back at the family compound, Kem couldn't shake the unease that clung to him. His grandfather sat by the fire, his face calm as he sipped from a clay cup. The old man's presence, usually comforting, now felt ominous. "Grandfather," Kem ventured, his voice trembling slightly, "why do we honor the shrine?" Chief Olisa's eyes met his, sharp and probing. "The shrine has protected this family for generations," he said, his tone steady but firm. "It is why we have land, wealth, and respect. Never question its ways." "But at what cost?" Kem pressed, his fear giving way to a simmering defiance. The chief's gaze darkened, and his voice dropped. "There are some truths you are not yet ready to understand, boy. Go to bed." That night, Kem lay awake, the shadows in his room seeming to stretch and shift with a life of their own. The memory of the idol's hollow eyes haunted him, and his grandfather's words echoed in his mind. Wealth and respect, but at what cost? The air felt heavy, and the silence of the night was broken by faint whispers that seemed to come from nowhere. As sleep finally claimed him, Kem dreamed of the shrine. He stood before the idol, its carved face grinning wickedly as it spoke in a voice that rumbled like thunder. "You are bound to me, Kem. Your blood will feed my power, just as your fathers and your grandfathers have." Kem woke with a start, his heart racing. He knew then that his family's fortune was tied to something far darker than he had imagined. The shrine's grip on his family was strong, and its secrets ran deep. But in his heart, Kem felt a spark of defiance. He would not let the shadows consume him or his family.